Liam, congrats on the contract. Just tell us how you feel, first of all.
Thanks. No, I'm delighted. I'm just delighted to get it done. I've wanted it, and it's happened now. And look, I'm just happy to have it done in the back seat now, and then go on and focus on the games coming up.
Just tell us, has this been something that has been worked on in the background? How much have you been aware of this process being ongoing?
Yeah, it's been ongoing. Obviously it has to be right for everyone, and that's sort of where it sort of can get a bit sticky and take time. But I'd rather it have taken time than it be rushed. So it goes on in the background. Obviously my agent deals with it, and you try and keep it out of your mind. But it always is there in the back of your head. So it's good to have it done.
Reflecting on your own season, how would you say it's gone so far as we look towards the culmination?
I think it's gone well for me. I think at the start of the season I didn't really picture myself in this position, so look, it's gone well for me. It could have been better. Obviously there's certain performances, certain things I feel like I could have done better over the year, but as a whole it's been successful for me.
Do you feel as if you've grown as a player and as a person within the year, and how much growth do you still have to go? How many gears do you have to go up, or how much potential is still there from within yourself in the next 4 years that you're going to be wearing the Celtic colours?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's room to improve. It's been massive for me. It's the first season I've played at this intensity, played regularly. Obviously, my first year here, I played a few games here and there, but playing regularly at this intensity, at this level, and I feel like it's improved me hugely as a player. So I think hopefully as I continue to play at this level, I can keep improving, and it's hard to know where the ceiling is for that, but hopefully it's not anytime soon.
What do you think the biggest thing you've learned about yourself and the biggest thing you've learned about what it takes to play at this level is?
I think it's that I'm capable. You don't really know until you're thrown in, and I suppose put into a situation where you have to you either make or break, I suppose. So I think just knowing that I'm able for it and well capable is a good thing.
Liam, obviously it is a long-term deal. What does it mean to you to know that you'll be playing football at the club for another number of years? And also, how far away was that idea in the summer? We've spoken plenty of times that you didn't know what was going to happen before the season. You might have left. Could you imagine that 9 months, 10 months later, you'd have had all this experience under your belt, all these wins, and now stay for another 4 or 5 years?
No, it's sort of different to how I thought it would have panned out. At that time, at the start of the year, I was just looking to play regular football, and obviously if I could get that here, it's 100% the place I want to be, but I thought maybe I'd have to look elsewhere, so that's where my head was at that stage. So I wasn't really thinking that I'd be in this position, so no, it's brilliant. It's really good.
You talk about that mentality that you had, you just wanted to play football, but now with this contract going forwards, is your aim to cement that left side of the centre half to be yours long term? I mean, it has been yours for the majority of the season, but is that the aim for you now for years to come?
Yeah, 100%. I know, I've done well this season, but I don't want to just sit on that. I want to be the long term centre half in the team, and that's, I think everyone here would want that for themselves. So that's the sort of competition you face, because everyone's in the same boat that they want that position. So I know that I need to continue to improve and perform at a high standard to hopefully keep that shirt.
Just on that, you're talking about it's competitive at centre half. Obviously you had Stephen Welsh signing a new long-term deal, Cameron Carter-Vickers, 2 internationals signed last summer as well. How competitive is it at the back, and is it a benefit, is it a hindrance? What's it like in that changing room with all the competition?
It's competitive, but it's not, we don't hold grudges against each other. We're all teammates at the end of the day, but there's competition there, and I think it's a good thing because it keeps everyone on their toes. And if you go through a bad spell, that there's going to be someone knocking at the door to come and take your place, and they're obviously all top players, so they're all more than capable to do that.
You said the deal had to be right for everyone. Talk us through the discussions you had with the manager. Was part of that making sure you were in his plans next season, that this wasn't sort of a one season, one-off run of games?
Yeah, 100%. I spoke to the manager sort of earlier on in the year about it, and he sort of laid it clear to me that he wanted me here, and that is a big deal for every player here really when they're signing a new contract. So that is important, but I know there's going to be competition here at all times, and no one is sort of secure in their position on the team at all. So it's all about sort of performing at the highest standard I possibly can to to hopefully continue to be successful here.
Is the other part of it as well, sort of being sensible when you make a decision like this? Of course, you want to play for Celtic. It's a huge club. You said it's where you want to play football, but you don't want to just sign a contract and kind of pick up your money. You want to actually be involved. You need to make sure there is a pathway for you to do that.
Yeah, 100%. I've always been like that. You know, I just want to play football, and here is the ideal place for me to do that. Like, I love it here. I'm really, really happy. I'm just like, it's a dream, really. You know, it's a dream come true. So it's where I want to be. But that's the thing. You always want to be playing. It's hard when your job is a footballer and you're not really seeing the pitch. And I've been there, and I didn't like it. So look, that's football. Yeah,
the last game against Hearts was a game which had a lot of talking around it. This week, it's emerged that 2 of the decisions in that game were wrong. I just wonder what it's like being a player, hearing that after the event.
So that's the first I've heard. I knew they were wrong at the time, but that's the first I've officially heard of it.
The 2 penalties I'm talking about here, the one for each side, have been deemed incorrect.
All right, okay. Yeah, well, fair enough. I did look at it. Was the game went the way it did. We can't change that. We can just focus on tomorrow and focus on our game. And they've been tricky this year for us. We haven't done especially well, but we know if we get to our levels tomorrow and play well, that we can win the game.
Is that game at Tynecastle a good reminder ahead of these final 4 fixtures that a decision, a moment in a match, could impact the result of a game? So you need to be kind of wary for those bumps that could crop up in there, even though it looks like you're in control of things at the moment.
100%, yeah, because certain things out of your control can happen, and it's about reacting to those things, and we've learned that a couple of times this year. So no, it's definitely a good learning curve for us, and we're prepared for anything for tomorrow.
Maybe can I take you back to when you first came to Celtic and you were making the decision to come over from Ireland? What were your did you map out a kind of pathway, the timeline of what you wanted to achieve and when? Is that something you think about, or you just come over and do your best and see what happens?
I think at the time, I had a few options to leave Shamrock Rovers, and they were all good options, but this just stood out because it's such a massive club and such just a chance to play at a club like this. You're probably not going to get many times in your career. You might never get a chance like that again. So it was sort of my mind was made up fairly quick once the Celtic interest was there. I don't think I came over here with a plan, because I was sort of coming into the unknown. I just wanted to come and make the best impression of myself possible, and obviously it was a good first few months, and then it sort of went a bit slow for me. I wasn't playing much, and the loan at Aberdeen did me really well, and I think that was a great chance for me to learn and sort of prove that I can play in this league, because I think you need that. I'd come from, I suppose, a lesser standard, so I had to prove myself, and I did that. So yeah, I never had a sort of pathway planned out. I think I just, once the opportunity was here to come here, that was it for me. I was like, right, I have to go and take this and make the most of it as I can.
And I suppose you've established yourself here in the team. You've got the faith of the manager for a new contract, but being that the key part of a championship winning team, is that a kind of a huge thing? Is that the next step, obviously, to show that you can be in amongst that as well?
Yeah, 100%. I want to win as much as I can, and that's obviously our goal every year, is to win leagues, win cups. So that's a massive part of it. But again, we have to focus on sort of one game at a time from now, and hopefully that'll take us to where we want to be.